So thanks for tuning in. Just a quick update that the full episodes of the Rant Cafe podcast can be found for free on Spotify, which is linked in the description below. But for now, let's just jump into the meat and potatoes of this highlight.
Next in Briggs Day! Let's go!
It's like November 5th. So, as you know, there was like a big election in the U.S. and everything is totally fine. And we know who the winner is. We know who the winner is. It was Kanye. And the West Wing is named after him. Fun fact. So everything is fine, guys. And because of that, we're going to be talking about some anime in politics today. That is our theme. I think that, for me, the perfect anime does have a political element. Now, obviously, it depends on the genre of anime because you have, slice of life anime or romantic comedies that don't need a political, element to it. But if it's a big fantasy anime or like an anime in general that focuses on world building, I really love to see a good political element because I studied political science for many years. And
not only did he study it, but he has a PhD in political philosophy.
Oh, okay, really? I didn't know that, Adam.
You guys need to stop this because I don't ever talk about this, and then people on Twitter call me out saying, "Bro, you think you're so smart just because you have a PhD and you always talk about it." I don't talk about it. It's these freaking guys who talk about it.
I love it when people call him out for that.
That's hilarious.
I know. It's like they act like It's like I act like I'm better than people because of that, and I never even talk about it. It's not relevant.
Honestly, it's kind of hurtful to me that you always make believe you're better than us by talking about your PhD in political philosophy. But could we at least be grounded in reality? And
I'll try to do better, Nux. I'll try
to be better. Try to be better.
But in that sense, though, I do think that the perfect series will include some of that because I think it is important. Like, what is politics? Like today, we know it as this partisan propaganda bullshit. But in reality, politics what it really means is how we govern ourselves, how we govern our societies.
That too.
So it's something important.
I'm very excited that we could actually talk about One Piece on this podcast because for a long time, Animac was a One Piece virgin, and he still technically is because we can't talk about the Reverie or anything like that. But I feel like for a long time, I had to hold myself back on our Rant Cafe podcast talking about One Piece because of spoilers. And there's so much good politics in One Piece. And the reason One Piece is so great is because it has a little bit of everything. And one of the most interesting things, and I love that Animac finds this interesting as well, is that there's the whole Void Century is literally censors. Oh my god, I can't fucking speak. I'm done. Animac, talk about One Piece.
But what Briggs loves is that there's this whole Void Century thing, which is a piece of history that's just disappeared somehow. And we know that the political system that governs the current world of One Piece all sprouted from there. We don't know how we got there, so the political elements to the mystery of One Piece is extremely prudent and possibly the most important factoid that we're missing in the One Piece mystery sphere.
There we go. It's literally censorship is what I was trying to say. But thank you, Nux.
And the thing with One Piece is, because it's a shonen and it's an adventure and all that type of stuff, it wouldn't make sense if it was too political or if it was all focused on politics. But One Piece does have just enough of politics to really bring that world into reality and to make it interesting and complex, while also still focusing enough on the characters and the journey and the battles and all that other type of stuff. So I think that One Piece is, in that sense, the perfect shonen because it encompasses all of these things.
Perfect shonen!
Yeah. That's just words to my ears right there.
Well, words are words to your ears.
It's true. It's true. Man, I shouldn't have stayed up to 4 a.m. last night playing Apex. Holy fuck.
I guess not. Well, anywho, so in One Piece, it's fascinating because there are so many different political systems in One Piece. Like, you have the idea of just who governs the world, which is either the world government or warlords or nomads or pirates, or there are so many different political powers. But even more than that, each one comes with their own very prudent political ideology. Like, the whole concept of the clash between pirates and Marines is just a very simple way of saying it's pure authoritarianism versus pure anarchists.
And also, there's so many world powers that are there's a constant balance, and when one thing changes, it throws the entire world into chaos, really. For example, we got the world government, who obviously is hiding stuff from the Void Century, and then they control the Marines, and then the Marines are using the Shichibukai, and then you see through Crocodile and through Doflamingo how they start to doubt the Shichibukai system and want to eradicate it. and stuff like that, and then that shifts the power. You literally have pirates, the 4 Yonkos, who control the New World and have governance over certain areas of the New World. And anytime something happens, the entire world goes into like Doflamingo's speech in Marineford, Nux, if you want to talk about that for a second. Like,
so the way One Piece works that's so interesting is that almost every arc has its own wacky political, base that builds the whole arc off that base.
He memed himself.
I meme-ified myself. I tend to do that. But and it's not just that. The way that Crocodile tried to take over Alabasta was through politics and war, but politics. And the way Doflamingo rose to power was also like that. When we just finished Dressrosa in the One Piece Virgin podcast. The whole concept of Doflamingo turning a king against his people and taking control.
Oh my God!
And the only reason why he had so much power was because he had political ties to the world government as well as to 2 emperors. Like, this man was a spider sitting in a web that was tugging on so many different powerful political forces. And since he really understood the nature of the world, it gave him this immunity. So it seemed.
Oh, yeah. So if you look at how Doflamingo seized power in Dressrosa, it is like he just looked at Machiavelli's The Prince and his descriptions of like Cesare Borgia, and he just implemented all of that using the power of devil fruits, which of course makes it much easier to pull all these things off. But it was so Machiavellian, it was so brilliantly done in the sense of a ruthless, cruel guy who has a goal and he's willing to do whatever it takes to do it, to achieve it. So it's not like it's morally right, but it's definitely effective, extremely effective.
Gotta love One Piece for its dictators.
No, Shuck!
Hello,
Shuck! All right, so Shuck has just joined. He's an absolute legend. The Shuckmeister. Check him out if you haven't heard of him. Great to have you here, man.
Yeah, I love One Piece. And oh my God, just listening to you guys talk about basically everything, I'm like, oh my God.
I didn't even know you were here, Shuck. I didn't even know you were here.
Yeah, I just got here. I had to get set up, but I'm here.
Yeah, it was a bit of very last minute. I'm sorry.
Welcome, bro. We appreciate you. This Shuckmeister. Yeah, see, this is how it goes here, bro. It's unpredictable on the Rant Cafe. It's unstable. It's crazy, just like real life.
Like real politics.
There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, Shuck, being that you missed the first little part of the discussion, we're talking about politics in One Piece specifically. We're gonna get to other anime soon, but
sure,
we'll start with One Piece because it's just the best manga ever written. And so what are your takes? Politics in One Piece.
Oh, geez.
But don't spoil anything past Whole Cake.
Past Whole Cake. Okay.
So no reverie. No reverie.
No reverie? Okay. Well, that's like the whole political arc. That's like their own little political side story. But that's okay. That's okay. Like, well, what you were saying with all the Yonko controlling like the New World, and like, you just look at each individual one for a second, right? Whole Cake Island is like a series of like different kingdoms all under one Yonko's control, and they all relate back to Big Mom's devil fruit.
Also, you can't spoil the end of Whole Cake.
Oh, this is so sad.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I will try my best.
Legit, the Yonkos are all world powers. When you look at Whitebeard versus literally the entirety of the Marines and the Shichibukai, like that's how powerful and how much control like a Yonko has.
Right.
Yeah, and the great thing about One Piece is that obviously you would never call One Piece a political show or like a political manga, but it has enough political elements in order to just contribute to the wider world, because politics is relevant in the world. And because that world is real, within that story, it has its own politics, and they're complex and they're interesting, and there's good guys and bad guys on all sides, and it's not black and white, and it's really good.
It's true. And the fact that the world is constantly moving in the background while we watch our protagonist fight against, let's say, Big Mom in this case, like there's always something else happening.
I know you were talking about like the whole Alabasta arc earlier, but I think where like One Piece really hits its initial peak was like that whole Water 7 and Eni's Lobby.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the first time you get any like deep intuitive, like deep dive into like how the world government works, what's going on in the background, right? You mentioned like the whole Lost Century, right?
Yeah.
That's where that lore finally gets fleshed out. And like, it's really interesting to see.
And you see these powers literally fighting over like ancient powerful weapons. and it's for to try to control and govern.
I'm so interested in the Void Century and like how it all relates to the current system, to the Celestial Dragons, to all of that, bro.
Mm.
And I also love how you have the world government in One Piece, and like every single conspiracy theory in our world is about people trying to create a world government and how it would be oppressive and shit. And then One Piece is like, "Yep, here you go." Basically, One Piece is anti-globalist, is what I'm saying.
I mean, it's all about
One
freedom.
Piece is everything.
Yeah, it really is all about freedom. It's true.
Yeah, essentially.
That's why Luffy wants to be the king of the pirates, not for power or riches or anything. It's just because he wants to be the freest man in the world.
And
Luffy
honestly,
would support Brexit, is what you're saying.
Well, anyway, so Luffy, one of the reasons why he's such a powerful protagonist is because he doesn't necessarily have political affiliations or strong political ideologies like almost every antagonist in the story. Everyone opposes him because every ideology politically taken to an extreme is wrong. And that's one of the things that One Piece likes pointing out. It's like pure authoritarianism won't work, but also pure anarchists can't rule the world. And it's this clash of these two things that Luffy's like, nah, fam, I believe in freedom like the anarchists, but you can't do bad shit, they're gonna kill you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in seeing the full episode of the Rant Cafe podcast, link is in the description to our Spotify, which is free, by the way. We very much appreciate all the support you guys give us. We also have a link in the description to our Patreon. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.